What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at this 2025 Jeep Wrangler. This one is the Willys 4xe finished off in the 41 color. So we got that heritage darker green color, which looks really nice. MSRP is $63,000. Big shout out to Richardson, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this plug-in hybrid Wrangler for today's video. Check their website, linked down below. Underneath the hood of the 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4xe, you're gonna find the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with the hybrid system. This has an 8-speed automatic transmission, a 4-wheel drive system. Net horsepower is 375 with net torque at 470. We get a 17.2 gallon fuel tank, MPGe is 49 miles, and then we have 21 miles of pure electric driving. The total range on a full charge is 370. Curb weight's gonna be 5,100 pounds, and then max towing is 3,500 pounds. The overall length is 188.4 inches with wheelbase at 118.4. Width is 73.8 and height is 73.5 inches. Within a Jeep Wrangler, this is ultra off-road capable. Approach angle is gonna be 42 degrees. Breakover angle is 22 degrees. Ground clearance is 10.1 inches, and then departure angle is 35 degrees. Moving on to the exterior styling, for 2025, the Jeep hasn't really changed all too much. For the classic Wrangler, this is the JL generation. You do have the nice LED package for this specific spec. I like the round design. Of course, you have the traditional bars in the upper grille. I do like a little bit extra texture to the front grille, especially finished off in black. We have the plastic front fenders with those LED lights on them as well. Plastic front bumper with LED fog lights, a little bit of gloss black trim. We have metal recovery hooks as well, and then just a plastic skid plate. You can see a little bit of the suspension, and this one has a really nice set of off-road tires for being this Willys trim. You're gonna get some sharp lines on the hood, as well as rubber bumpers. That way when you fold down your windshield, it'll be nice and protected. Got the Willys name with the blue and black, which has a nice contrast against this paint color, which is kind of a greenish brown color. And then for the side profile, we even have a blue outline of the classic Jeep Wrangler with a nice satin black design for these wheels. We've got 17-inch wheels, off-road tires, and then those massive fender arches. You're gonna see a trim piece, trail-rated badge with more of the blue, and then Jeep and Wrangler with more of the blue accents. Got a nice set of frame sliders down below, and then the exposed hinges on these removable doors. We have just plastic black for the mirrors, as well as the grab handles, a manual key lock as well. And then this one just has the plastic roof finished in the plastic black color. The roof, of course, is removable. And then we have that classic side profile with the boxy look, one sharp body line throughout the side. And then making our way in back, the plastic fenders lead into the rear bumper. We're gonna see those exposed hinges with the 4-wheel drive sticker. And then we have a nice red 3-dimensional taillight. We have a full-size spare tire on the back with your rear view backup camera mounted onto the hub, and then up above we have an adjustable design for the third brake light. On the left side we have your release handle as well as the 4xe badge, recovery hook down underneath your license plate, and then all of your trailer hitch settings with a tucked away exhaust. You can see the red for those suspension in back, and overall it's a classic design that still looks quite nice in 2025. Take a look at the key fob. You're gonna get lock, unlock, remote start, and panic. It says Jeep on the backside, and we have the manual key when necessary. With that, you can keep the key fob in your pocket and just grab the door handle. It will lock and unlock. This one's gonna get a gray fabric interior with some color accent stitching that matches this 41 paint. You're gonna get just this black plastic material on the door, some soft touch padding for the armrest. We have a grab handle to lift the panel off as well. Release handle with mirror controls, lock and unlock, and then a nice cargo net all down below. You're gonna see all manual controls for the seats, recline up and down, and then you can also twist this for a lumbar. And then the fabric has a cool texture color to it. I do like the overall style. Of course, leather is available on several trim levels. You have a nice black leather steering wheel with some gray stitching. And then now inside the 2025 Wrangler 4xe Willys, keep my foot on the brake, let's fire it up. So being a plug-in hybrid, the engine won't necessarily turn on. You got a cool display that pops up. You're gonna see the tach over on the left side with your engine temperature. Then we have fuel as well as your power percentage on the right. For the center screen, you can configure this using this dial. So if I go ahead and scroll down, we have a lot of different off-road information and vehicle information. Nice to see all that. We have some more drivetrain information, pitch and roll meter, adaptive cruise control, and then we have some energy information and hybrid information. It'll show you your battery indication, and it'll also show you your battery versus engine power delivery. You got the Jeep badge in the center, some Bluetooth controls on the left side, and then cruise control over on the right. The stock on the right is for windshield wipers, and then we have headlights and turn signals down over on this left. So down below, we have your 3 drive modes. So a hybrid will do a good blend of both drivetrains. Electric, you can drive in pure electric, and then the e-save is a great way to just charge up the whole battery system. You're gonna see some nice fabric material around the air vents, a very short dashboard with just a little bit of a storage cubby up there, and then more of that fabric along with the nice stitching. Got a grab handle, and you probably just heard the engine went ahead and fired up as we're sitting here. For the multimedia screen in the center, we have a couple shortcuts for climate, your heated seats and steering wheel. Then you can also scroll down, change a few items. For this menu right here, this is the home screen. You can adjust all of that. We have your media that will pop up as well. And then for comfort, all of your different climate controls will pop up. Super simple to use everything. There's also physical controls down here that will do the exact same thing. So it's nice that you can kind of mix and match touchscreen or physical. Phone integration, once your phone is all connected. Then under vehicle, we have the e-hybrid, so you can adjust some of those. Under power flow, you can see how the battery is working along with the engine, your history, your schedules, and then back to the e-save. For the dashboard, we have off-road pages. You can see your four-wheel drive transfer case, the locking differential, all of your gauges, as well as a massive pitch and roll gauge. We have controls as well for the camera, settings that you can scroll through, and then apps all down below. If I go ahead and pop this into reverse, you have a pretty nice backup camera that's gonna pop up. And then we also have the physical heated steering wheel and seats. We have this icon right here for the max regenerative braking. You can turn that on and off. Mute icon, downhill assist, and then a few other controls. We have our window controls in the center with some media plugs, 12-volt outlet, all the locking differentials along with the off-road plus. If we just tap this, it's gonna do that into the four-wheel drive. So all the normal stuff you're gonna expect on a Wrangler. We have extra auxiliaries, old school Jeep up on the shifter with a manual shift select. And then our part-time four-wheel drive system has this nice manual shift lever. We're gonna get storage down below with a manual park and brake, padding on the armrest, a little bit of storage under here, and then the glove box as you would expect. One last look at the interior. Again, nothing really has changed for the JL Wrangler since it came out. I believe the screen is new for last year, but for this Willys trim, it definitely has a cool look. Up above, we have the removable hardtop with all the panels. You can see those latches. You're gonna get a couple icons up above, thin mirror, and then garage door buttons underneath the visor. And then making my way to the back seats, just grabbing the door handle and opening it up. You just have a black plastic door handle, the same padding, the same cargo net, and the lift point to remove these doors off the hinges. For the back seat space, you're also gonna get the nice contrast stitching with the gray fabric. And then the center seat, you can pull this down. We have a nice armrest with 2 cup holders. There are air vents back here along with your window controls. A little bit of storage behind those front seats. And then the lever here will pop that down, and then you can fold these nearly flat as well for better cargo space. Now, being the hybrid system, you're just gonna grab the back side of the seats, pull these forward, and that is where your battery is located. So no extra storage underneath here. And then of course, if you really wanna get these to fold flat, that's how you're going to do it. So overall, still pretty easy to operate the entire back seat. And then you even have a grab handle to climb yourself in. Now, sitting back here at 5'11", closing the door, it's not too bad. Again, this is a Wrangler. This is an off-road rugged SUV, pretty much as rugged as they come. Removable doors and roof. These things are a heck of a lot of fun. Sitting here, this is actually decently comfortable. I'm actually surprised how not bad this is, but I sit here well. I can't recline the seat or anything, but it's at a pretty good angle. I have plenty of legroom and knee room for my height with the driver's seat on my height as well. Armrests are all good, and you have a pretty good view around. Taking a look at the cargo space now, you can just manually grab this handle, swing open the entire door. You're also gonna get some information about the JL written up here. We have a manual piece of glass, pull that open. And then with the seats, you can see how with them folded flat versus upwards, this is the kind of cargo space we're looking at. Again, being a hybrid, you're gonna have the battery pack, so you're not really gonna get the smoothest transition from cargo area to where the back seats are folded down. However, this is still pretty practical. You're gonna get storage down below on the floor, nice amount of space, and then spots to put all of the bolts when you remove part of the body panels. A couple tie-down hooks, and then we have an Alpine subwoofer sitting back here. Now, some of the accessories this will have, we have a nice case for some roof panels, and then we have some of the chargers, a standard 3-prong outlet, and then this one has a much larger unit for quicker charging. So nice setup for sure to charge this at your home, and then very easily we can manually close down the glass and then grab the swing door and close it all. So setting off now in the Wrangler, a little bit of off-road just to play with it a little. Obviously we know these things are insanely capable, but if I had enough charge, I could go into electric mode right now and actually do quite a lot of crawling in the electric mode. And it's really nice when you're honestly hitting the trails and you're not hearing the engine. So it's a really cool touch. Of course, we have all the neat gauges as well that you can play with. And then eHybrid, you can kind of watch what it does. If I go to eSave, that mode is actually going to make it to where the engine is going to start charging the battery system, especially when on the highway. So getting up to speed, you can see the 2 gauges. The light color is the engine, the dark green is the battery. When the battery is on the left side, it's actually charging. So right now I'm still accelerating and we're slowly charging the battery. So if you're on the highway and you need to charge up, you can do that very easily. And then if you go into hybrid mode, that's basically going to do a good blend of everything. The engine and electric are going to kind of work together to give you the power and efficiency when needed. So right now you can see how the engine is kind of driving it. When I coast, it charges nicely, but when I need some power, the electric power is going down and the engine all on the right side. So you're getting a lot more power out of this engine than if it didn't have the hybrid system. So it's quite nice. Now, on-road in a Wrangler is what you would expect. It's a little noisy. You can hear the tires, you can hear the wind noise. The handling is not the greatest. It's definitely an off-road focused vehicle on the street. However, the hybrid weighs a lot more than the standard one, to where it actually does kind of feel decently stable. It's not really that bad when you know this is just an off-roader. So I don't really mind driving this on the street. It's kind of fun. It makes you kind of have a smile on your face. Of course, when you take the roof and doors off, it just turns into a whole new vehicle. The brakes work pretty good, especially with the regen. You can turn the max regen on as well. And when I take my foot off the throttle, it really starts to slow down, which is a great touch just to help charge and of course just help your braking system in general. Now with acceleration, we have some good power and you can put it into manual mode. I mean, keeping it around 4,000, this thing moves. It's got a decent amount of power. And I'm sure the electric system is also going to make the engine have less stress on it too, since a lot of the battery is helping out. So it's pretty cool to drive around, and visibility's all really good. Mirrors do a pretty good job. Nothing too crazy looking over your right and left shoulder. And then of course you can see the hood quite well. All the tech works pretty nicely as well. It's an easy vehicle to use. I like the physical controls as well as the touchscreen. So obviously there are sacrifices with a Wrangler on the street, but this is all about fun, and I really like this hybrid drivetrain just because you have a lot of power, way more than a 4-cylinder, way more than the 6-cylinder, and you know, it's not going to compete with the V8, but this thing is pretty cool the way it works, the way the efficiency can kind of just make this drive like that. Hitting bumps, you know, it's still smooth enough as long as you don't get any death wobble on some of the bumps. But overall, it drives like a Wrangler as expected, and I really do like the plug-in hybrid. I think that it just kind of wakes up the car to a new level, to where you have the power for the streets, but you also have that EV quiet power when you are tackling anything off-road, and that is just a fun aspect when you're in a Wrangler. All right, so setting off now in the Jeep Wrangler 4xe. So this really is a pretty fun powertrain and overall combination of what we have. So electric mode, still temporarily unavailable, I don't have enough charge, but in electric mode or even hybrid mode, this will drive super quiet when you're tackling the trails, and it just makes for a more fun off-road experience because you don't have the engine constantly whining, struggling, things like that. And with a torque converter automatic, the electric motors make it where you don't have to put so much stress on the torque converter, transmission, engine to start crawling. When you're in four-wheel drive low, this thing just is a cakewalk in the slow speed crawling, and the electric power is perfect for that. So if you are seriously doing a lot of off-roading, I would really look at a 4xe. We've off-roaded with a Wrangler and the Grand Cherokee 4xe, and it seriously is a lot of fun. I think the hybrids are the way to go for off-roading, especially with the power and the range, just because if you're slowly going downhill, you're charging the system the whole time you're going downhill. So it really is an optimal powertrain for the off-roader enthusiast. So driving on the street, obviously there are a lot of sacrifices. Now at the same price, you can get an iForce Max Toyota 4Runner, a TRD Off-Road Premium. So that one is going to be a lot more on-road focused, a bit more comfortable, a bit more normal, still very capable off-road. However, of course, if you want the doors and the roof to come off and just the Jeep feeling, nothing quite is like a Jeep Wrangler. Ford Bronco obviously is a super strong competitor with the same type of features, but they don't have any hybrid or anything, which maybe Ford should do that to compete with the Wrangler. But I think Jeep has done a cool job. The Wrangler's been around forever, since 1941, hence the color on this specific Willys version, but hasn't really changed all that much. It's a little crazy how expensive these are, 63 grand for a fabric interior. I would prefer leather, a couple extra bells and whistles for the price point, but nonetheless, you know, people love the Wranglers and they keep selling no matter what Jeep does. So people absolutely love these, and there is just something unique with a Jeep Wrangler. It's a fun vehicle. It just kind of lets you explore life and have that adventurous lifestyle. And this one particularly, aside from the cloth, which it's a nice fabric at least, I love the color combo. The exterior looks sweet, and the hybrid is just something else. I like the hybrids. I feel like hybrids are kind of the way of the future because you're getting the power benefits and you're getting the economical benefits too, for the most part. So to be able to drive this in pure electric mode, if you were to charge this maybe every single day, every night you get home from work or whatever, go ahead and plug it in, and that hybrid battery is going to last you a pretty good amount of time. And these do a great job in the e-save to actually start charging themselves. It'll charge up a couple miles in just, you know, a couple more miles. So it does a good job when you're actually trying to charge the battery while driving. I like how Jeep has allowed you to do that. Some of the plug-in hybrids I'm not the biggest fan of, just because once you deplete the battery, you're really losing the benefits of a plug-in. So overall, you do need to plug this in to charge it to gain the benefits of the plug-in hybrid, but I like how you can still charge it on the go and you don't have to solely depend on charging it every time. That is it for the 2025 Wrangler Hybrid. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for plenty more content. And then a big shout out and thank you once again to Richardson, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this truck for today's video. Check out their website linked below, and I'll see you all in the next video.